Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Gananam tva Ganapatigam Bhavamahe Kavim Kavinam Upamasravastamam Jeshtarajam Brahmanam Brahmanaspata Anashunvanno Dibisi Dasadanam Mahaganapataye Namaha. Prano Devi Saraswati Vajabhirvajinivati Dhinam Vitriyavatu Vagdevyai Namaha. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavagai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Om Namah Pranavarthaya Shuddhajnanaikam-murtaye Nirmalaya Prashantaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Stapakaya cha dharmasya sarvadharmaswarupine Avataravarishthaya Ramakrishnaya te namaha. Jananim Saradam Devim Ramakrishnam Jagadgurum Padapadme tayo sritva Pranamami muhurmuhu. Namah Shriyati Rajaya Vivekananda Suraye Satchit Sukaswarupaya Swamine Tapaharine Yairime Guru Bhipurvam Padavakya Pramanataha Vyakhyata Sarva Vedanta Tanityam Pranatosmyaham Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpadam Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badharayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantav Punah Punaha Saya Vishnu Rupaya Vyasa Rupaya Vishnave Namo Vai Brahma Nidhaye Vasishtaya Namo Namaha. Mandalakaram Yaptam Yena Characharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. In the vision of Vedanta, this Jagat, creation, is nothing but the manifestation of the Ishvara. Ishvara manifests as this Jagat. This Jagat consists of Bhoktru Prapancha and Bhogya Prapancha. Bhoktru Prapancha is the experiencer microcosm. Bhogya Prapancha is experienced objects macrocosm. In the last class, we saw how these microcosm and macrocosm have manifested from Ishvara through the power of Shakti, through the Maya power of the Ishvara. In this class, we will try to understand the laws which govern this entire creation. They are called cosmic orders. The laws are called cosmic orders or cosmic laws. They govern both Bhogya Prapancha and Bhoktru Prapancha. They govern both macrocosm and microcosm. Because Jagat being the product, it is a product. Jagat is a product. Being a product, it should be governed by certain rules. Otherwise, the product will not be useful for transaction. So, Jagat is a product, and that too given product. It is given. None of us have brought this Jagat. Before our arrival, this Jagat exists already, and since it is a product, It must be an assemblage. Any product will be an assemblage. What is the meaning of assemblage? That which is intelligently put together. That which is intelligently put together is called assemblage. So the product is given to us. The giver must be a conscious entity. The giver is revealed in the Vedanta scriptures as Ishvaraha. So this Jagat, the given product, functions in orderliness. It has certain precision, certain deliberation, certain orderliness. This orderliness also requires a governing authority. Jagat is a product, therefore producer must be an intelligent one. Jagat is given, therefore the giver must be a conscious entity. And Jagat is with orderliness, therefore there must be an intelligent entity which governs this orderliness. So this Jagat is governed. That is why the transaction is predictable. You can predict. You can predict the seasons, you can predict the incidents. There is nothing called accident. In the creation, there is nothing called accident. What do you mean by accident is an incident for whose cause we don't know, we call it as accident. Accident is nothing but an incident whose cause we are not able to understand is called accident. So there is nothing called accident in the creation. All are incident. So therefore it is predictable, therefore it is studyable. You can study. That is the reason science studies the happenings in the creation. Understood? The very existence of science is possible because the creation is studyable. The creation is studyable because it is predictable. Creation is predictable, the happenings, the actions, the reactions are predictable because it is governed by cosmic laws. Understand? So these cosmic laws gives us lots of department in science. When we study the physical order of this cosmos, then it leads to cosmology, astronomy, physics, chemistry. These are all nothing but study of physical laws of the physical world. That is Bhogya Prapancha. So if you study physical order, there is a vast space, galaxies, billions of stars, Milky Ways. Each star is a sun, and each sun has a system of planets, and each planet has minerals. Each mineral has a composition of atom which is distinct from one atom to another atom, and each atom has proton, neutron, electron, subatomic particles. Like that it goes on. This is physical structure of the cosmos. The very word cosmos denotes that it is a orderly product. It is not chaos. Understood? The very word cosmos denotes to us that the product called Jagat is with orderliness, with particular purpose, with utility, and it is predictable. You can study it. So next law is biological law. That is about microcosm. Study of biological laws gives us biology and all types of medical sciences. Veterinary, varieties of medical sciences are the subject matter of biological laws of this creation. And if you take biological law, there are flora and fauna, billions of living beings. Each living being is unique, and there is a connecting principle between one living being to another living being. They call it biological cycle. So Each one is connecting with the another part of the creation. And if you take the human body is a super tech creation. That is a perfect creation. So when you study the human body, we wonder how the creator has created such a perfect product. So you take kidney, human kidney, it is a miracle. There are 1 million filters. And the liver is a very big chemical complex. And skin is nothing but a thermostat. Heart is a tenacious pump, go on pumping. Everything is in its size, precisely done, and everything is working precisely. That's why the Vedanta says, Yadvai tat sukrutam. Whatever is here, tat sukrutam. Shushtuhu krutam. Done well. You cannot add or you cannot reduce. In this connection, Acharya Swamiji used to say, imagine, instead of keeping the nose in front of the face, if the nose is kept above the head, like a chimney. Chimney means that polluted air goes up, top of the complex that will be there. So like that, top of this human complex body, if the nose is kept above, it will be nice. No. It is kept in a proper place. Because before consuming anything, the human mind wants to know whether it is consumable or not. So smell helps. That is why those people who are addicted to alcohol, without smelling they will drink. If they smell, it smells. You cannot. The beginner will hold the nose and drinks. Because the nose tells this is not the thing to be consumed by human body. So smell is an important factor before consumption. That's why any animal, you throw anything as food, first it will smell. Then only it will eat. So everything is kept in its own place. You cannot shift it. Nor you can add or reduce. There are a lot of joints in the hands and fingers. 4 or 5 joints are there in the fingers. Imagine a finger without joints, hand without joints. It will be a bamboo stick. It is not available for bending and you cannot eat also. Or add one more joint, what it will be? That's why Shastra says you cannot add or you cannot reduce also. So, yadvai tat sukrutam, biological order. Biological laws are perfectly in place. Third one is physiological order. First one is physical order of the inert objects. Second one is biological order. Third one is physiological order. This physiological order gives us physiology. It is the study about the life. How life evolves in the body. Whether it is animal body or human body, how life evolves. How the life conducts itself and how it makes the sense organs to function. All these studies are physiological order. How an idli which is consumed day after day becomes muscle power, bioenergy. You put some food item in a glass basket, it doesn't become bioenergy. But if you put in this basket, it becomes bioenergy. And the body has electrochemistry. And if it doesn't functions in the heart, they give one machine. So electrochemistry is there, remote control technology is there. Sense organs functions as the gateways, entrances for the transaction with the external world. And every sense organ is unique. Our eyes are nothing but automatic camera. It zooms out, zooms in. Suppose there is a snake. Who sees first? Eyes only. Hey, there is a danger for your life. So it zooms in. Then understands. Then next moment zooms out. Where is the way? Then run. Like that, physiological order, governed by the laws. Then psychological order, the study of emotional quotient of the living beings. There are emotions. Even in animals, there are emotions. So how these emotions work and how they manifest? All the emotions are kept in the mind. One is contradictory to another. Love, hatred, anger, patience. All are contradictory. Still, they are stored in one memory power. Same computer it is there. So many contradictory emotions are located in the same location. Which one will manifest when? The individual himself doesn't know. That is why we don't know when we will get anger, for what we will get anger. You try, give an appointment on day and time, write in your diary, that day, that time I will get angry. No, you cannot do that. So the chittam is a storage of emotions. The mind, the emotional quotient, is a self-judging one. It has the capacity, human mind has the capacity to judge oneself in a very clear way. Other animals also have their self-judging capacity, but it is very feeble with regard to their gender, with regard to their species only, with regard to the food. They have the judging capacity. But in human mind, the self-judging capacity is so crystal clear, and that creates depression, that creates arrogance, inferiority complex, superiority complex. Then if you take the intellect, which has the willpower, the power to disobey. No living being has this power to disobey the cosmic laws. Only human being has this power to disobey. Kartum akartum anyata kartum va shakyate. Acharya Shankara writes, Kartum akartum anyata kartum. You can do, you can follow that laws, or you can change that law, or you can disobey that law. So free to do, freedom to not to do, freedom to do otherwise. The creation has created human being to walk, not to fly. But this fellow has found out a means to fly. He can maximum run at the speed of 20 kilometers per hour or 30 kilometers per hour. But now this fellow runs 300 kilometers per hour. He has found out bullet train. He sits there in a running train. So these are all doing otherwise. Capacity to do otherwise. So power to will, power to err, and power to correct. Animals don't have that. Once error is done, over. And power to decide, power to choose, all these are all beautiful powers in the human mind. It's all given. When we study the power of choice, the power of choice always to do, not to do, right or wrong, which one I will select. Even after knowing right, I may not select. Duryodhana says, Janami dharmam najame pravrittihi. I know what is dharma, but I don't select. I don't follow. Janami adharmam najame nivrittihi. I know what is adharma, but still I cannot abstain myself. So this is a power. This power is a unique one. Study of all these things are called psychology. Human psychology, animal psychology. So these are all study of psychological order. Then fifth one is cognitive order. Cognitive order. That study is called epistemology. How a living being gains knowledge. How cognition happens in the mind, whether it is human mind or animal mind. Pashubhishcha avisheshat. Acharya Shankara writes, you show a green grass to a cow, it comes towards you. That means what? It has studied already. That is green grass and that is my food. When it comes near to you, you change the hand and show the stick, immediately it turns back. Again, one more study. Cognition happens. Similarly, in a human mind also, the power to know, the power to learn, the power to gain knowledge. And that knowledge also, you can gain the right knowledge or wrong knowledge. What do you mean by wrong knowledge? Taking the confusion as the right thing is called wrong knowledge. So power to convey ideas, power to speak. You are conveying the idea through words and you are converting the words into idea. Even in animals, the military dogs, this fellow gives one signal or one what you call sound, the dog reacts. That means what? There is a transition between the sound and the knowledge, and knowledge and the sound, and knowledge becomes translated into action. So all these are all cognitive order, laws governing the cognitive order, which is called epistemology. And finally, the moral order. What is dharma? What is adharma? What is dharma? What is adharma? That is the subject matter of karma niyati. You will get back. Whoever you are, whatever you do. Karma niyati. This karma niyati runs the entire creation. This dharma. That is why it is called dharma. Dharanad dharma ityahu. That which sustains the entire creation is called dharma. If human being has to walk through legs, he has to walk through legs only. He cannot walk through head. There are certain food items cannot be consumed by the human being. He cannot consume. If he consumes, then he will have it. Alcohol, tobacco. It is not for human body. But anybody consumes, tobacco kills. Alcohol kills. Sedative items are all threat to the human life. Disobeying these dharmic laws is not possible for other living beings. It is possible only for human beings. So this dharma governs the entire creation. Bhagavan Shankaracharya writes about this Jagat in his Brahma Sutra, second Sutra Bhashyam. He beautifully describes this Jagat with 4 adjectives. Namarupabhyam vyakritasya jagataha. Namarupabhyam vyakritasya. This jagat, this creation is a well designed one. And human being is living in all-star flying hotel. All-star, not 5-star. The very earth is nothing but all-star. Around the earth full of stars. And the earth is flying on. Human being lives in a all-star flying hotel. We cannot explain the complicated and orderly and useful Jagat. It is very complicated. Why we cannot explain? Because we cannot study. Little only we can know about this. What we know about the creation, the scientists claim only 6% or 5% they are claiming. Very little we know about the physical creation. So, it cannot be a mechanical evolution, nor it can be, as Darwin mentions, natural selection of species. These are all theories which have to be put in the garbage. So, it is governed by an intelligent principle, a conscious entity. Therefore, only Namarupabhyam Vyakritasya. It is orderly, useful, and perfect. Then Aneka Kartru Bhoktru Sanyuktasya. This is another important point. There are so many kartas and bhoktas, doers and experiencers. Actors and experiencers are living in this creation. Beginning from microbe up to the Brahmaji. Brahma Stamba Paryantam. From the grass up to the Brahmaji, they are all living beings. So, Aneka Kartru Bhoktru Sanyuktasya. It consists of countless jivas who are subject to their actions and results of their actions. Their actions are governed by their vasanas. Their vasanas are nothing but karma phalam of their previous action. So, every individual has this I am karta idea. I will do, I have to do. How this idea comes? I will experience, I should experience, I should enjoy, I enjoy, I did not enjoy. All these are all bhoktas. So, Aneka Kartru Bhoktru Sanyuktasya. This Kartrutva, Bhoktrutva, Abhimanam is there. Nobody has taught us. Nobody has taught us. Since the Jiva comes within the creation, Jiva cannot be the creator. Understood? Before his arrival, the creation is already available. So, the very body of the Jiva is because of karma phalam of the Jiva. So, therefore, he cannot be a karma phala dhata. He is subject to karma phalam. How many intelligence is required to provide karma phalam to each and every jiva? Imagine. The karma phalam may be the result of an action which was done 100 janmas before. That action gives result now to the same jiva, and according to the attitude of that action, yes, not only action counts, intention, attitude also counts in determining the result of the action. Suppose I shoot, shooting is an action. If an ordinary civilian shoots that, it is a crime. If an army wala shoots, it is awarded. So, intention also involved in result. imagine I am getting karma phalam for the action karma which I have done 100 births before. So, aneka kartru bhoktru sanyuktasya. That requires a lot of intelligence. So, Jagat Karanam is Ishwaraha. The third adjective he gives is Prati Niyata Desha Kala Nimitta Kriya Phala Ashrayasya. Every event in the creation is caused by Prati Niyata Desha Kala. Is caused by specific time, specific space with specific reason. Every event in the creation. Suppose an earthquake comes. Why earthquake comes? People study. Why? There is a reason. So, prati niyata desha kala nimitta kriya phala ashrayasya. You have to get the result. You are getting the result in a specific manner, in a specific time, with a specific reason. There are certain incidents which give papa phalam for someone, punya phalam for someone. Same incident. Suppose a rain. Rain comes means the landowner who is expecting rain for his crop gets happiness. Appa, what a punya I have done. 1 kilometer afterwards, there is another agriculturist and his crop is in yielding condition. He has to harvest. That time rain comes. Everything gone. What a papam I did. One incident. Take for mosquito biting incident. Punyam phalam for mosquito, papam phalam for human being. One incident. Earthquake. That earthquake is connected with so many jivas karma phalam. A corrupt Raja, a corrupt government. It is connected with so many people's karma phalam. That is why people who are living under the governance of a corrupt king or a government suffer. They suffer. Why they suffering? Not because of corrupt Raja, because of papa phalam, karma phalam. Wars. Children suffer, children die, mothers suffer. Mothers are humiliated. Why? Why? Two armies are fighting, let them fight. That's why in Indian culture, always fighting will be outside the city. And there is a rule, women and children should not be hurt. So they will not be allowed. Fighting will be only with warriors. All warriors will gather, take Mahabharata war. Normal citizens are living in their own way. Mahabharata war was going on for days after 18 days, it is going on. So only warriors die. They have trained for that. So they die. It's okay. But others also suffer. When warrior die, the child loses father, wife loses husband, mother loses son, all is suffering. So there are events which are connected with so many jivas, simultaneously giving punya phalam and papa phalam. When war comes, all the producers of weapons get punya phalam. That is why America always involves in war. Every decade it will have one on war minimum. Because they are surviving on producing weapons. They produce lot of weapons. They have to examine its capacity. So they will create wars. If you go through the American history for last 200 years, not 100 years, 200 years, every decade there is a war. there was a war. Every decade, at least one war will be there. Sometimes multiple wars. But that government surveys on this technology, weapon technology. So it allows the citizens also to use weapons. Everyone, even a child can have a weapon. Now and then that mass shooting, even in school. Why? That doesn't happen here. In Indian schools, mass shooting doesn't happen. Mass cutting the class happens. Our students go to cinema theater cutting the class, but they don't cut the head of the teacher or anyone. Understand? Why? Because that culture, American culture, is weaponized one. So when war comes, they are getting benefit. Punya phalam for certain companies. Now, Russia and Ukraine war is going on more than 2 years. Who is benefited? This fellow only benefited. Israel war, now Palestinian, everywhere war. Anytime any war happens, the countries which have produced the equipments, they get punya phalam. So, prati niyata desha kala nimitta kriya phala ashrayasya. The karma phala dhata must be a sarvajnaha. It cannot be an alpajnaha like jiva. The karma phala dhata must be sarvajnaha. Then fourth adjective of this jagat is manasapi achintya rachana rupasya. It is an unimaginable product. The glory of this product you cannot list totally. Little only you can. And the jiva who is living in this product, also a product. His body also is a product. His mind also is a product of his karma phalam. So, the jiva doesn't have any power to create anything new. It can refine, it can modify. That's why science says matter cannot be created, nor the living being can destroy anything. What we call destruction is nothing but modification from one form to another form. That's all. So you can modify or purify or you can explore and study, but you cannot create anything new. No, Swamiji, ice cream we have created. Acharya Swamiji used to say, ice cream we have not created. There was ingredients for ice cream already given. There was a technology of creating ice cream that also given in human mind. So both are given. You put together, that's all. You put together. You are assembling. So any scientific invention is not a creation. That's why it is called discovery. You discover. It is covered, you discover. You invent. You don't create. So, manasapi achintya rachana rupas. It's all beauty. Even the sunrise and sunset. Every day it is something new. Varieties. So, any portion of the creation you take, it is a mystery. Any portion. Physical portion, physiological portion, biological portion, psychological portion, epistemological portion. It's all mystery. Little only you know. And to run this creation with lot of varieties, how much knowledge that entity should have. Therefore only is called sarvajnaha. Sarvam jnanati iti sarvajnaha. And if anybody tries to violate and creates trouble, he himself manifests as the engineer. The engineer is called avataraha. He comes in whatever forms that required. Engineer will have varieties of forms, okay? So he comes as a plumber, as an electrician, anything. He comes. So Sarva Shaktiman, to handle any crisis. In Puranas, we come across there are a lot of people who have created crisis. Rakshasas, Asuras, they are called. So Bhagavan comes and handles them. Initially tries to educate them. If they are not available for education, he gives certain beautiful medicines. Oral medicine or injection, whatever it may be. So he handles, therefore he is Sarvashaktiman. Ishwaraha Sarvashaktiman. Ishwaraha Sarvajnaha Karmaphala Dhata. Entire creation is governed by one factor called dharma. That factor we have to understand very clearly, because non-understanding this factor called dharma leads to violation of dharma, and that violation of dharma leads to destruction of not only human species, other species also. Ecological problem. Earth is getting warm, temperature is rising, glaciers are melting. Who is the cause? This idiot only. So, dharma, do's and don'ts, are not the commandments of Ishvara. Other religions say it is a commandment. Commandment means you can reject. Here, dharma is not a commandment of Ishvara. Dharma is the manifestation of this. It is an inbuilt system. Dharma is nothing but an inbuilt system. If you know that, you will be an intelligent entity by abiding to that dharma. Because dharanat dharma ityahu. That is why Bhagavan Ramchandra Prabhu was afraid of telling one lie. Only one lie. Entire life he could not tell one lie. So much of fearful. He can fight with Rakshasas, he can build the bridge in the ocean, he can live with monkeys, live in Vanavasa, go through all the discomforts, physical discomforts, emotional discomforts, but one lie I cannot tell. So that much of importance was given in the mind of great people for this adherence of the dharma. So dharma is not a mandate of the Lord, but the manifestation of the Lord. It is available universally and eternally. Therefore, it is sensed by every human being. That's why it is called common sense. Commonly sensed. That commonly sensed knowledge is violated due to inordinate desire. In Gita, Arjuna asks, Atakena prayuktoyam papam charati purushaha anichannapi varshneya baladiva niyojitaha. What makes this human being to do crime, criminal activities? Who is that power which makes him to do unwanted things in spite of his dislike? Anichannapi. He doesn't like it to do. Why he does? Bhagavan says, Kama yesha krodha yesha rajoguna samudbhavaha. Not some external power. It is your own inordinate desire. You know what is right and wrong, but still you violate. Why? To get your desired things through shortcuts. So, nobody need to be taught about dharma. Nobody need to be taught. Acharya Swamiji used to say, even a thief knows that stealing is wrong. Even a thief knows that stealing is wrong. Two thieves went for stealing. They were successful. They came back after stealing with a lot of money. They were hungry. So one fellow told to another fellow, go and bring some food. The second fellow told, Arey, you should not run away. You have to be here. After eating, we will share. No problem, don't worry. Bring food first. Why should I run away? As even the second fellow went to purchase food, the first fellow ran away. When the second fellow came back with food, he understood this fellow has cheated him. So he says, my money is stolen. Whose money it is? Whose money it is? So even a thief knows stealing is wrong. Everyone knows himsa is wrong. You ask any living being, do you want to be hurt? Do you like getting hurt? Even an ant will tell no. Tribal person you ask, do you like getting hurt? He will say no. So there is no need to teach ahimsa. Because everybody knows himsa is an unwanted experience. Everybody knows that cheating is an unwanted experience. So you need not teach satyam vada, dharmam chara, ahimsa paramo dharmaha. You need not teach. But still, Shastra teaches. Why? It is a commonly sensed knowledge. Because since I don't want to get hurt, I don't want to get cheated, so I cannot cheat others, I cannot hurt others. It's a common sense. But still, people do it. Why? I told you, the reason is inordinate desire. Therefore, Shastra says, you can fulfill your desire by violating the dharma, but you have to pay back. No, up to the end I will manage. Renam krutva kritam prabhet. I will take loan, cheat the company, and get transferred to another town. Again another bank I will take loan, cheat the bank, and go to another town. Like that I can manage. Then Shastra says, even if you can manage whole life, this life only you can manage. You have to pay back in the next life. What is the proof that I have to pay back in the next life? Your own present experience is the proof. All the suffering you are getting in this Janma is for what? Why you are getting suffering? Did you desire for it? Did you spend money for it? Did you work for it? Did you plan for it? To get happiness, you have to do all these things. You have to desire, you have to plan, you have to work, you have to spend time and money. To go to picnic to another place, you have to do all these things. But after going there, to get a punch, you don't need anything. Why you got punch in picnic? There are so many people go to picnic and get accident and come back. They have gone for enjoyment. What they got? Suffering. You did not plan accident. Why you got? The very fact, without your permission, suffering comes to you is a proof that somebody is providing this. Who is that somebody? This dharma niyati, karma niyati. Therefore only Shastra says, you cannot get away from it. Even if you try to get away from it in this life, you have to pay back. Therefore, satyam vada, dharmam chara. So, to reveal the value of values, there is a value for every value. There is a value for dharma. Human mind understands the value for wealth. And with regard to his own experience, it understands the value for value also. If somebody cheats me, I will be at loss. It knows that. But it doesn't give the same response to other living. When it wants, it desires for that values. When it has to be given to others, he violates. This dichotomy creates violation, then a violation creates karma phalam, then suffering, and it is not going to end in one janma or something. It will continue. Even before 100 janmas you might have done something, it will continue. That's what in Puranas also, the avatars are getting cursed. Very Ramavatara, suffering of Rama is because of a curse. Bhrigu Rishi cursed. As I am suffering with the separation of my wife, because Bhagavan killed Bhrigu Rishi's wife, because she was giving shelter to a Rakshasa. To finish that Rakshasa, he has to finish this wife. So Bhrigu Rishi gave Shapa. So Bhagavan had to suffer. And in that Ramavatara, he killed Vali hiding. That karma gives again in Krishna Avatara. What is the time span between Ramavatara and Krishna Avatara? One yuga. One yuga. Even if it is happening after one yuga, you will get back. Even if you are a special manifestation of Lord. And that is applicable for him. Ishvara has to abide by his own laws. So he abides voluntarily. To teach the humanity, even I cannot avoid all these things. Why you are trying to avoid all these things? So, dharma is not a mandate of the Lord, it is the manifestation of the Lord. Therefore, only it is available for all universally and eternally. Therefore, only it is sensed by everyone commonly. Therefore, only you have to follow it. Violating dharma by only human being creates problem to the entire creation. How following dharma will be an intelligent way of life, we have to study. The value of the values, we have to understand. Even religions don't teach this value of values. Religions give stamp for violation of values. Killing is adharma, but if you kill a person who belongs to other religion, that is dharma. Religions give stamp, and it created a lot of havocs. So, we have to understand adherence to the dharma is the most intelligent way of life. This understanding will come only when we understand that dharma is nothing but the manifestation of the Lord. You cannot supersede the Lord. If it is a commandment, you can disobey the Lord. It is not a commandment. It is an inbuilt system of working. You cannot violate it. And every violation, for whatever may be the cause, will bring suffering. So the intelligent way of life is what? Adhering, because the human mind always wants sukham, not suffering. Sukhame sarvada bhuyat, dukkham ma bhoot. That is the desire. May sukham sarvada bhuyat. Let me be happy always. Not only in house, not only in office, not only in public space, always. Dukkham ma bhoot katachana. I don't need suffering, I don't want suffering at any time, in any situation. Idi chet sarvasamanye. If this is the desire for all the living beings in the creation, especially this is the desire for human being, jnanadyeva siddhyate. By knowledge only you can get this. Understood? That is why Vidya Dadadi Vinayam, Vinayat Patratvam, Patratvat Dhanam, Dhanad Dharmaha, Dharmene Sukham. End is Sukham, beginning is Vidya. Lot of stages are. So, all those stages we will see in the coming classes. So, what is the intelligent way of life? It's nothing but adhering to that. And this adherence is nothing but surrendering to the Sarvajñatva and Sarvashaktimatva of the Ishvara. You are a subject governed by that Ishvara, living in this creation which happened to the product of the Ishvara, which is governed by the Ishvara. Understood? So therefore, adherence to the Dharma is nothing but love for the Lord. A man of character alone can be lover of Lord. All other forms of worship does not satisfy the Ishvara. Even if you don't do any of those things, you adhere to your Dharma, that satisfies the Lord. Understand? Mandodari never did any tapasya. Ravana did all tapasyas. What is the difference? Mandodari never violated her Dharma. Ravana violated his Dharma. The result is what? Bhagavan Ramji was afraid of Mandodari's curse. Satitva is there, that purity of being a chaste wife, always adhering to Dharma, trying to advise Ravana and protest, resist all his adharmic actions. She tried but failed, but still she tried. Never violated her Dharma. So she had lot of power. She can give curse also. Gandhari gave curse. So they have that power. Even Bhagavan was afraid of that power. Dhritarashtra was full of adharma. Gandhari was full of dharma. Understood? You gain sukham not by your rituals, not by your dogmas, not by your faiths. This is the difference between Sanatana Dharma and other religions. Understood? Christian religion says you do any akrama, Sunday you come, I will give you clean chit. Even in Bible, when Jesus was crucified, there are two criminals. One criminal accepts Jesus as Son of God. Immediately he is assured of heaven. Whether it happened or not, only Bhagavan knows. That gives a message that what? You do any dharma. At the last moment, if you accept Jesus is the God, then you are given clean chit. What type of dharma it is? And there is another religion which gives clean chit if adharma against another group is done. Another group means what? Non-believers. Sanatana Dharma doesn't accept all those things. You have to pay back. Prayashittam you have to do. Even after doing prayashitta, you will have the result. Understood? So you take chili and you do prayashitta. Take buttermilk also. Will you have effect or not? Certainly you will have effect. That effect is reduced by prayashitta. These fellows are running after the Navagraha temples, the useless fellows, idiots. Instead of running after the Navagraha temples, they should surrender to the Lord who is in the form of Dharma. Idiots. So, at present society requires this clarity of thinking that adherence to the Dharma is nothing but the highest form of worship, highest form of love. That we will see in the next class. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Sri Rama Krishna Arpanam.
सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ। सहस्रशीर्षं देवं विश्वाक्षं विश्वशम्भुवं विश्वं नारायणं देवमक्षरं परमं पदं विश्वतः परमान् नित्यं विश्वं नारायणगुं हरिं विश्वमेवेदं पुरुषस्तद्विश्वमुपजीवति पतिं विश्वस्यात्मेश्वरगुं शाश्वतगुं शिवमच्युतं नारायणं महाज्ञेयं विश्वात्मानं परायणं नारायणपरो ज्योतिरात्मा नारायणः परः नारायणपरं ब्रह्मतत्त्वं नारायणः परः नारायणपरो ध्याता ध्यानं नारायणः परः यच्च किञ्चित् जगत् सर्वं दृश्यते श्रूयतेऽपि वा अन्तर्बहिश्च तत्सर्वं व्याप्य नारायणस्थितः अनन्तमव्ययं कविगुं समुद्रेऽन्तं विश्वशम्भुवं पद्मकोशप्रतीकाशगुं हृदयं स्थाप्यधोमुखम् अधो नित्यामितस्यान्ते नाभ्यां परितिष्ठति ज्वालमालाकुलं भाति विश्वस्यायतनं महत् सन्ततगुं शिलाविस्तुलं भक्त्याक्रोशसन्निभम् तस्यान्ते सुचिरगुं सूक्ष्मं तस्मिन् सर्वं प्रतिष्ठितम् तस्य मध्ये महालग्निर्विश्वाचर्विश्वतोमुखः सोऽग्रभुग्विवदन्तिष्ठन्नाहारमचरः कविः तिर्यगोर्ध्वमदर्शायी रश्मयस्तस्य सन्तता सन्तापयति स्वं देहमापादतलमस्तकः तस्य मध्ये वह्निशिखा अनीयोर्ध्वाव्यवस्थितः नीलतो यदमध्यस्था विद्युल्लेखेव भास्वरा नीवारशोकवत्तन्वी पीताभा स्वत्यनुपमा तस्याः शिखाया मध्ये परमात्मा व्यवस्थितः स ब्रह्म च शिवः सहर्षेन्द्रः सोऽक्षरः परमस्वराट् ऋतगुं सत्यं परं ब्रह्म पुरुषं कृष्णपिङ्गलम् ऊर्ध्वरेतं विरूपाक्षं विश्वरूपाय वै नमो नमः। ॐ नारायणाय विद्महे वासुदेवाय धीमहि तन्नो विष्णुः प्रचोदयात्।